What's up guys, Pure Phoenix here, and as promised I am bringing you a map between two Grandmaster players on the SEA server. Spawning up the top left we have the red Zerg aLtJimdiddy, and spawning up the top right we have the blue Protoss Scope. So both players talking about meeting each other in real life, and a bit of friendly conversation to get things started. So yeah, thanks for all the feedback on my last video. A lot of people liked it, a lot of people didn't like my motley crew line, so apologies for that. I'll try to keep myself from using anything like that in the future. It does happen to the best of us. So a pylon going down forward for Scope early, so we can expect a fast expansion on him, which is generally standard play against a Zerg player, as they always fast expand themselves, so nothing too unusual to comment on thus far in the game. Both players will scout each other first attempt and just to make sure nothing too unusual, so Scope might try and block the early hatchery, but I don't think he's going to get there in time. Or maybe he will, he might get there in time. So yeah, forward goes down first for Scope before he grabs his expansion at maybe 16 supply, and a pull first for aLtJimdiddy, the Zerg player, and he will grab his hatchery shortly. Scope might try and block that, or he might not. Either way is an adventure each day. And yep, harvesters count about equal. Cast really feels awkward today, I don't know why. It's just later at night and struggling to find things to say. Normally I'm full of conversation during this early stage when nothing happens, but today I'm definitely not talking too much, although I did just manage to talk for about 30 seconds about not having anything to talk about, so how about that. And expansion's now going down for both players at similar speed. A little battle of the workers happening here. Oh, that probe does go down, so nice by aLtJimdiddy, and that cannon won't actually go down due to that. And I think after killing that probe, he's got bigger hopes and ambitions of taking out a pylon, but that's really never going to happen, let's be realistic. So spawning pool is finished, and we've got a couple of Zerglings and a queen on the way for aLtJimdiddy, as well as this expansion, which is about halfway finished. Also a gateway and a photon cannon going down for Scope, who managed to supply block himself early in the game, which is unusual but a mistake that every player makes. Another queen now on the way for aLtJimdiddy, the original one going to his expansion, walking terribly slowly as they always do on creep. And I'm not too sure. So aLtJimdiddy knows that there's a probe over here somewhere. Not sure if he will find it. Oh yeah, so he'll actually find it, so that wasn't too bad. He did see that. Ooh, wow. Okay, yeah, he saw it. And that probe is go forward pylon for Scope. Not yet, but he's on the way. And cybernetics as well. Still trying, both players now trying to set up their early expansion and get their economy booming. Equal harvesters count, so nothing to comment on there. Next third base going down for aLtJimdiddy already, so 5.5 minutes. So we've thrown that third base down in about 5 minutes. Is the Zerg player, and now we'll get research being chrono boosted straight away for Scope. And we have more pros being produced, and gas only being mined from one gas at the moment, and 4 probes not working. So Scope's definitely been a little slack, just in the way of letting a probe die here and down here, getting himself supply blocked, and mining from one gas when it had finished, and having 4 guys not working. But it's early game, and it may or may not impact the end result. We do not know. And a Zealot heading out to both of these Elnaga towers. We also have first level of ground attack being researched for Protoss, as the third base for aLtJimdiddy finishes his hatchery now ready, and these Zerglings doing a great job patrolling the map and keeping the streets safe for young Zerg children growing up in the troubled neighborhood. So we have 2 more gateways going down now for Scope, and the research at both the Cybernetics core and the Forge are being chrono boosted. So good use of energy from the Nexus for Scope, something he's done well, and a little forward Twilight Council, so some DTs perhaps, well hidden by Scope, unlikely that's going to ever be found. And DTs could be interesting because with fast 3 bases, a lair is often delayed, therefore overseers are delayed unless detection comes through spore crawlers placed around the map, as he does have 1 evolution chamber, and a roach warren. So getting ranged attack upgrade for his roaches, and now we see a couple of zealots attacking this 3rd base, and he does back out. Now 3 zealots and a forward pylon, and he's gotten 3 warp gates. Gateway about to come on warped, and the Dark Shrine as predicted, warping in here. So some DTs would definitely be an interesting addition to the units which Scope capable of training. Put some pressure on all of Jimdiddy's expansions, and there's my dog going crazy again as it has all day. Yeah, put pressure on all the expansions, and even with a lair tech, it's quite hard to get overseers at all 3 bases and provide protection for that. So Roach is now trying to defend the attack, although that expansion does go down, and Roach is trying to take out the small pylon, but I don't think it's going to happen. So good early pressure by Scope. He needs to free up a bit of supply here and chuck down a couple of pylons. He doesn't actually have any in production, but he's done what he needs to do for now, and he has managed to keep the base count level, although Jimdiddy is secretly chucking in another base right down the bottom left corner in that main base, which no player spawned with. And yeah, Dark Shrine has finished, so Dark Templars are now an option on the field, and could we see another hatchery almost instantly for Jimdiddy? Perhaps, perhaps not, and I think Scope wants to make sure that that doesn't happen. And he's now got 3 DTs walking in, so these could, they don't attack the roaches, they could head just straight into the mineral line of the natural base for, he's going right into the main, and there is actually no detection. Lair has only just finished, so there's really nothing that Jimdiddy can do to stop all of his drones being destroyed nicely by the 3 devastating DTs. So a force of gateway units sitting here just outside the natural base, as well as those 3 DTs. Still 1 in the back of the mineral line there, and okay, and Overseer is out now, so I think they are all, yep, all of the Dark Templars did die, but they probably got their worth by killing all of those drones that they did kill. And someone just tried calling me on Skype and ended up hanging up because I didn't answer. So that explains that noise. Overseer in the base here, just chilling for now, and this hatchery does finish, so Scope didn't actually take that out. He was classed with some kind of advantage, but he didn't take that out. Now he's supply blocked quite badly, but it turned out to be okay. So Jimdiddy did get rid of that forward pylon, which was the only forward pylon apart from here, and now he's also got Blink coming on for Scorpion, so maybe no more DTs for now. He'll forget about that tech option, as there will be Overseers and probably Spore Crawlers placed throughout the map, throughout the bases from now on, to prevent more cloaked attacks. So another attack upgrade being done for Scope. We've got ranged attack and defense for Jimdiddy, as well as a few Hydralisks on the way, and 2 Spore Crawlers, 2 Spine Crawlers, and as I mentioned, Blink halfway through being researched for Scope. But at this stage in the game, I'd say Scope is looking like he's leading this one. He's about to throw down his 3rd base himself. Jimdiddy is leading the base count, but only just, and great pressure put on by Scope on all of the bases, actually taking out a 3rd base at one stage. So Roach Hydralisk is the composition that Jimdiddy has at the moment, whereas we have all kinds of units for Scope, gateway units, and a couple of DTs still coming in, and an Immortal, as well as another armor upgrade for gateway units. So that will put them on, yep, just level 1 armor for now, and level 2 attack when that upgrade finishes. So 1 DT might actually be enough to apply some pressure, not to that base. There is a spine crawler and a spore crawler, but it will be able to hit that. He'll get a few shots away, but that dies pretty quickly. So I think he won't make any more DTs. There is no way they're really going to work. There's an overseer now chilling with the army, and there's 2 of them, and there's spore crawlers and spine crawlers at every base except for the main. But yeah, definitely not a viable option for harassing anymore. Although Scope is now moving out with his very large number of gateway units. He has 20 odd stalkers, a few zealots, and an immortal. They do blink away, and a sentry joins the mix. And what will we see added? We're about to see a robotics bay finish, so some Colossus will join the mix, and he could engage his Scope, but he's going to run away. Blinking his units away to the safety of his base, and a couple more gateways are to be thrown down, and an infestation pit for Jimdiddy. So will we see, okay, so small engagement here. Scope's still not really keen on fighting. He does now have the support of the cannon. He's not really in the best position, neither player either, not getting a pulse round, but the use of blink is definitely helping Scope out, and a force field that didn't really seem to do anything, but Scope did come out on top. He had level 2 attack upgrade. Both had level 2 attack upgrade. The Scope did come out on top there. I think he had a slightly better command of the use of blink, getting rid of some of the weaker units towards the back of the pack. Definitely seemed to favour him. So it looks like it's going to be about a draw here. Scope going to take out the final 2 hardpoints. So there are more being rallied in continuously, and there aren't too many stalkers. He does have a fair few gateways up now. He has about 6 gateways, as well as Colossus being produced on the way as well. So the armor upgrade will have finished for Scope now. Yep, level 2 attack and level 1 armor. We have 3 bases, and a DT actually managed to... a DT managed to do a little bit of harassing and survive down there, and he managed to also take out the base of his opponent down here, that 4th base, which was a 3rd base once upon a time. A couple of overlords sniped. They ventured too far from the hatchery. He should have killed that. I don't know why he didn't. So this overlord gets to live on and tell his enemies about the fearsomeness and ferociousness, I think is the word, of Scope and his gateway units. And now the first Colossus is on the field, Thermal Lance being researched as well. And this 4th base is, there we go, 4th base is underway for Scope, as well as him now getting his 3rd base well and truly underway. Harvester's tab, Scope definitely leading due to the harass of the Dark Templars by Scope on Jimdiddy's expansion. So at this stage I would definitely say Scope is leading the game. He's leading the Harvester count, he is leading the upgrades, I think. Yeah, he does have an extra armor upgrade over Jimdiddy, and he's looking to blink right into the 3rd base, which is a 4th base, which is getting confusing, of Jimdiddy. 1 or 2 stalkers didn't make the cut, but not generally a nice blink, and he would take that hatchery out in just a couple of shots. So Jimdiddy, while his 3rd base is going down, is going to just run straight for Izzy. Going to run. No, both players are heading into the center of the map now, and this could be the final battle of the match. And no, Scope once again using his blink to avoid a battle that he didn't want to have, but we've got a few infestors. Fungal growth, great for getting rid of the shields of those stalkers, and 1 roach gets to lob some verbal abuse at the gateway units as they return to the base. But yeah, definitely I would say I would back Scope. I'm not sure why that stalker's there, but it is. And so now an engagement. Jimdiddy has 2 fronts attacking. The Colossus doing massive splash damage on all of the units. No fungal growth yet, I haven't seen. Maybe 1 on the Colossus. Yeah, a couple of fungal growth, and now infested Terrans being spawned by the infestors. And there it is. Jimdiddy leaves the game, and Scope finishes out on top on that one. So I definitely think it came down to Scope's great harassing. His DT choice was good, hiding it on the map as well so that it wasn't predictable, and delaying expansions and destroying expansions definitely won in that game. Upgrades also came in handy. Hope you've enjoyed this cast, guys. Yeah, thanks very much. Stay tuned for the next video, and keep commenting, subscribing, and liking my videos. Cheers.